Hello and welcome to another video here at Movie Mash, and today I'd like to talk about the new film War of Tomorrow, but unfortunately it don't come out till 2nd of July 2021 and it's August of 2020 and I've just started this YouTube channel. So the only way I'm going to do it is I've spoken to my mate Doc Brown and he's made me this little machine here that brings me in time forward and back, so I just put in the right thing and I'm away. So let's go and do this review. Nice layout, so let's watch this and review it. Hello and welcome to another video here at Movie Mash, and today we're going to talk about the new movie War of Tomorrow that just hit Amazon. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning here in the UK and I've just finished it and I thought, wow, it's still fresh in my mind and we jump on and review it. Now it stars Chris Pratt, as we all know from Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World. And we got J.K. Simmons, who stars in it too, who's we all know probably as Jameson from Spider-Man, and he was on a TV show called Oz, which is not for the faint of heart. But he's a good actor. He's been in many things. But we got a director called Chris McKay. Now, Chris McKay, the only thing I ever know him to have directed was one of the Lego movies, superhero Lego movies. I'm not sure if this is his first major film. I'm going to look it up after, unless somebody can comment in below and let me know so I can check it out. I'd like to know. Now, into the story. So, it's 2022, and, you know, it's about a year from now. And all of a sudden, all these beings, humans, military, come from the future to tell us that we're in trouble. In 2050, there's an alien race that's blitzing the world, eating humans, killing us all, and we're running out of people. We're fighting back, but we're losing, and we need people from today to come and help us fight back before it's too late. Now, you get drafted, and you only go for 7 days. So every time people go, they go for 7 days and they come back. But a lot of people don't come back because it's hardcore there. And if you do come back, you've got no legs or no arm or something's wrong. But Chris Pratt, he's drafted. He's a scientist and he has military experience. Now, he doesn't want to go, but he has no choice. He's also a family man with a wife and daughter that he loves very much. And you can see, and I like the chemistry with them. He has an estranged relationship with his dad, who's played by J.K. Simmons, and the chemistry with them two is good as well. But I don't want to give too much away, but all I can say is that there is a relevance of him going to the future, but it's not big spoilers, but you know what, it's enough for me to think it's a spoiler, so I'm not going to say it. But there is a relevance for him to go, so as you can imagine, he's a star. But yeah, there's a relevance for him to go, and more happens like that. But I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm only just going to say that about the story for now. Now, let me tell you, this film was very, very entertaining. I really was entertained by this. I was shocked because I wanted it to be good, but the fact that there was no buzz about this. I mean, I didn't even know it was coming out till a couple of days ago. I just never heard much about it. I know about the trailer a while back, but nothing. And the fact that it was going straight to Amazon and it was very quiet, I was like, big budget film just going straight with no buzz, nothing. I don't know about that, but I hoped it'd be good. And I was not let down. It was entertaining as hell. Now, being a sci-fi film these days, everything has to be setting up for a trilogy or a sequel or a shitload more. But one thing I liked about this film is it's its own film. There's no, there was no setting up for a sequel. I'm sure they probably could, because, you know, writers will always find a way. And I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying is this film was compact into its own. So if there's no other sequels, it won't matter because there's a conclusion on this one. So yeah, it's nice to see that a film doesn't have a setup through the whole film for a sequel. Now, I actually hope there is, because that's how much I enjoyed it. But that's a good thing. Now, to describe this film, in a it's very there's a lot of The Edge of Tomorrow feel of it, well, the one with Tom Cruise a few years ago, which was really good, by the way. And I, I don't know, it felt like there's a bit of Battle Los Angeles, if you remember that film back about 10 years ago. Not much, just a little bit, I think, because it's the future, and I think it's in Miami or something they're in. But anyway, as I say, like yeah, it had, you could see there's elements of other films in it, but the good elements, and it's all done really well, because sometimes they do all that, but it's shit. But this wasn't. Now to positives. The acting was really good all round. I mean, there was nothing stand out bad. Chris Pratt is good as normal. He carries the film really well, and he's a likable character on that, like he normally is. I wouldn't quite say he's the cheeky person he is on the other Jurassic Park and Guardians of the Galaxy, but he's a nice character. He's a family man, and yeah, he carried the film really well. Now, J.K. Simmons, he's just a good actor. I mean, like, there's probably a lot of people that don't know, only know him from Spider-Man. No, the guy can act. If you see that film Whiplash, I highly recommend that. The guy can act. But there is something I want to say. Do you see, if you watch this film, do you see how ripped he is? He is buff. I mean, like, he's ripped. The guy's 66. He had like a vest on or something. His arms are bulging out like that. I'm like, what? This Jameson, he could probably play Spider-Man. But again, I just want to know, do you know this? I mean, how long has this been going on? Has he been doing weights recently? I don't know, but my God, does he look... He looks trim for this film. Now, more positives. The aliens, they look good. They actually look quite grisly. I thought they were going to be a just generic type thing that we see in all these films. Like, you know, they're just some kind of lizards running around. And not that they weren't. It's just they looked quite grisly, and they were fast, and they were violent, and they could spit kind of like things out of their arms. And yeah, no, you know what? They look good, and I wouldn't say I was frightened, but you know what? There would be something I'd run from, I tell you that. So, and the CGI was pretty decent on this movie. I mean, like, nothing stood out bad. I mean, always CGI, you can tell it ain't really there, but it didn't, you know, it was good. I mean, there was money in this film, I'll tell you that. There's something I want to say about action movies a lot of today. A lot of action movies don't have much downtime, and I love action movies, but I find that you need downtime in between action. Sometimes action can be overkill to the point where I feel numb towards the end. So when the climax comes in, I don't care. You know, it's not a build up to it. It's just, well, I've seen this through the film. But this film, the action was good, and it had pacing in between it. There was downtime. The action was great, and don't get me wrong, there was plenty of it, but there was downtime in between it, and I appreciated that. That was really good. Now, the runtime is 2 hours and 20 minutes. That was another thing I was a bit worried about going in, because when it's a sci-fi action film, unless it's an epic thing like Aliens or Alien-like or something like that, yeah, we're going to drag this out. No, the pacing was fine. It felt like it needed to be this long, even with what was going on in the film, and the pacing was really good. The runtime was, it passed, to be honest with you, and yeah, I mean, that wasn't a worry. So if you are worried when you see 2 hours and 20 minutes, nah, not a problem. Now, on to music. The music was really good. I actually thought it was decent. It fit the film. Some scenes where they were walking down corridors and it was kicking in. Yeah, I thought it was decent. It stood out, so that means it was good. If something stands out while you're doing it and it helps with the scene, you know it's good. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it was good. Now, the music was done by a guy called Lauren Buffalo. Sorry if I've said it wrong, and I always do. All I know is that he had done Mission Impossible Fallout, which was actually a good film, but it was the theme song was really good as well. So yeah, that's another plus. So yeah, so far everything's going well, right? Now on to negatives. I don't have any. I actually don't. I thought the negatives would be it was a bit boring and a bit long-winded for what it was. No, now it's the reason why I have no negatives is because it said what it was what it said on the tin. Yeah, it's a sci-fi action movie with jumps, CGI, action, and all that kind of stuff. But you can get all that and it not being entertaining. Well, it was very entertaining. In fact, I'll probably watch this a few more times in the next few over the years. It's got real watchability factor to it. So that's why I've got no negatives. I can't really knock something that's supposed to be the way it's supposed to be, you know. So, you know, I'm not. There's no bad acting. As I say, music was good. Story was pretty decent. I mean, like, it's not like, again, I keep using Shawshank, but it has got no Shawshank kind of storyline to it. But don't get me wrong, the film isn't magically special, but it is decent. There's a lot of sci-fi movies that are going around recently, and they're okay, but a lot of them are kind of boringish and all that. No, this is definitely above some of those, I'll tell you that. So I highly recommend this. So the bottom line, if you haven't guessed it already, I feel that this film is really worth watching. If you're a sci-fi movie fan, you will love it. If you're an action fan, you'll love it. I think most people will like this in general anyway. And Chris Pratt, I really like the guy. He seems like a real nice guy in real life anyway. But he holds this. He cast well on this movie. He holds it really well. J.K. Simmons, buff, really good. I have nothing bad to say, and I'm going to give this a thumbs up. Now, this is only a short review because I've just watched it, and it's just my initial thoughts, my first reaction to what I just saw. It came out here in the UK at 12 o'clock last night. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning, so I waited up all night just so I could review it for you good people. Yes, that's right, because that's what we do here at Movie Mash. But please let me know in the comments below if you've seen it, if you agree with me, if you don't, if you hate it. Just comment below and let me know. And as always, like and subscribe. But for now, and until next time. So review done, and it's time to go back to my own time. So I better be careful when I'm messing with stuff like this, because I don't want to go back to the wrong time. Do you know what I mean? Like, can you imagine going too forward or way too forward back? It's got to be quite precise, which is August 2020.